Is it a two-sided fight now, Rahul, suddenly? You've been literally east, west, north, south in all parts of the country. Is there something changing? Is it still one-sided?
So I'll tell you a story which a senior RSS leader told me. I asked him that this election seems slightly different from 2014 when there was a palpable anti-UP, anti-Manmohan, anti-Congress mood in the country. And in 2019, in the aftermath of Balakot and Pulwama, there was a palpable nationalistic, pro-Modi, let's give this guy another chance kind of mood. This time, people aren't jumping around, dancing around, saying Modi, Modi in quite the fervor that they did in the last election. So I said, does that indicate simmering discontent? What he said was very interesting, Rajdeep. What he said was that, just think of it as a romance between man and wife, right? So when you've just got married, the expression of romance, you're always jumping around saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you all the time. And that's just, in that moment. Say 10 years down in that marriage, man and woman still stay as committed to each other in that relationship. And it's just that the effusiveness with which you constantly express your love.
I can't wait to see how this goes down on social media.
That may come down, but it doesn't mean that the voters decided to be infidel towards the Prime Minister or the BJP who he voted to power 10 years ago. So obviously there are some murmurs of simmering discontent which can quite clearly be seen. But remember also when you look at how the markets are spooked and social conversations, people are wondering have things changed. The gap at the starting point, ultimately elections are about arithmetic. The gap at the starting point is so much that even if the BJP and the NDA's vote share comes down a bit and the opposition's vote share goes up a bit, it doesn't necessarily change the end result. Is this a tougher, tighter fight than it was the last time? Most certainly. The opposition's learned a lot of the BJP's playbook and therefore they know what to expect, which trap not to fall into, and they've avoided those pitfalls. But the fact that Prime Minister Modi is in very strong position to come back to power a third time, unless you're living in La La Land, that reality aren't changing. Now, it's only a question of the margin and whether it is actually 320 par or 300. The other thing is that by constantly saying 400 par, the BJP realized that it may have had a slightly counter effect. And I'll explain how that happened. Let's assume that 3 people here. Now, Nabila is really angry with her MP, who's been MP for 10 years, didn't come, didn't do as much work. Nabila likes the Prime Minister, but not necessarily that MP so much. So, the voter starts thinking, okay, I want Prime Minister Modi back, but इसे को हरा देते MP को तो फिर भी तो 399 आ जाएंगे 399. That's fine. And the BJP picked that up after the first phase. That this is a very day. If everybody starts thinking, I like the Prime Minister, he's getting 400, let me be this MP, they'll get 399. That can have a spiral effect. But their ear is so close to the ground that they moved so fast after the first wave to try and course correct. Which I think now, as we wear on phase after phase,